retired, you don't want to end up like Joseph Parker, says John Fury. And let me counterpunch. I've been holding this video back for a while, and it's time to actually start counterpunching it. I think, first of all, I think it's a poor excuse for John, even though John has said countless times that he would like Tyson Fury to retire. I just wouldn't prefer him to use Joseph Parker's situation as a reason for Tyson Fury not coming back or to stay retired, because for one, we already know bias is there. John Fury bet against Joseph Parker, which I think which is very disrespectful, for one. For two, that fight was a back and forth fight. It wasn't like Joseph Parker when he fought Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce beat him into submission. You know what I mean? If you could say that about Joseph Parker in any fight ever that he's ever been in, you could say that about the Joe Joyce battle beating. But you can't say that in Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley is a guy that has the mindset of Deontay Wilder. You know, he reminds me of a tan Deontay, really. You know, he takes a lot of shots, but he's able to land a shot that always puts him back into the fight. In fact, wins the fight for him in a lot of situations. You know, so I don't even see that being the case. Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury are not the same fighters. And so I don't see why he would want Tyson Fury to stay retired, like Tyson Fury ever had a beating like that. You know what I mean? He didn't get beaten like that in Usyk. Sure, in spots he did in round 9, and I think again in like around 4 or 5. But other than that, he didn't take a beating. He was never in a situation. He should have been stopped the first Usyk fight, sure. You know what I mean? So if he's just trying to reveal something without revealing it, there you go. But as far as Joseph Parker, hey, yeah, this is the reason why you should stay retired, because why? Because Joseph is fighting some of the toughest fighters out there. To me, it just shows that John doesn't like his son to be challenged. You know what I mean? You know, and I understand him being a father, because he's like, look, you've got all the money, so why bother? Nobody wants to see anybody hurt. I just don't think it was genuine from John. I think the fact that he bet against Joseph Parker, I think he did that because either he knew something someone didn't know or someone else didn't know. You know what I'm saying? When he bet all his money on Fabio Wardley, I mean, why would you do that anyway? You know, only to say, oh, hey, you better not do that. You're going to end up like Joseph Parker. That's like a slap in the face, because everybody knows that that fight was stopped early. So how are you going to call an early fight a reason for your son not coming back into the sport, like it was a beating that he took and kept taking and kept taking? It's bullshit to me. You know what I mean? So I really don't like it. And he was the only one that said, oh, I thought it should have been stopped early. The reason you thought that is because you wanted to ensure that your bet would go through. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't like what John is saying, because I think it's a lot of bias and probably, more than likely, a lot of corruption attached to it. But you guys tell me what you think of John Fury and his statement towards his son to employ his son not to come back to the sport and use Joseph Parker as a piss poor example on why he shouldn't. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.